Title: The Price of Love. Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with the whispers of ambition and the promise of dreams, there was a woman named Amelia. She was beautiful, intelligent, and kind-hearted. But above all, Amelia was a woman who loved with everything she had. And she loved a man named Julian. Julian was everything Amelia had ever wanted in a partner. He was charming, charismatic, and ambitious, a man who exuded confidence in every step he took. Amelia's love for him was deep, undeniable, and unwavering. She had always been grounded in her beliefs and values, strong in her faith, but when Julian came into her life, she found herself willing to bend the very core of her existence to hold on to him. At first, Julian seemed enchanted by Amelia's devotion. He admired her beauty, her intelligence, and the way she cared for him. However, as their relationship deepened, it became clear that Julian held different beliefs and values than Amelia. He was free-spirited, a man who lived in the moment, not bound by any set of rules. While Amelia's beliefs had always been a part of her, she began to question if they were truly worth holding on to if it meant losing Julian. One day, Julian told Amelia that he could never marry someone who wasn't willing to embrace his way of life. His beliefs were different, and he wanted a partner who could live without the constraints of traditional ideals. Julian's words echoed in Amelia's heart, and though she had always been firm in her beliefs, her love for him was too great to ignore. She wrestled with herself, her conscience torn between her love for him and the principles that had shaped her entire life. After days of contemplation, Amelia made a decision. She would change. For Julian, she would let go of the beliefs that had once defined her. She would adapt to his world, embrace his views, and live in a way that would make him happy. To be his wife, she was willing to sacrifice it all. So, she threw herself into this new version of herself. She shed the person she had been, step by step, until she was a mere shadow of the woman who had once walked confidently in her own skin. Julian was pleased with the transformation, and for a time, they were happy. Amelia felt as though she had finally found her place in the world, at Julian's side. But as time wore on, Julian's affection began to fade. He grew restless, and though he had what he wanted, a woman who was now molded to his desires, he began to look elsewhere. Amelia's love for him had become a cage, and Julian was no longer willing to stay. One day, without warning, Julian left her. His words cut through her like a cold wind. "I can't do this anymore, Amelia. You've changed, but it's not enough. I need someone else, someone who truly fits into my life. I'm sorry." Amelia was devastated. She had given up everything for him, and now, she was left with nothing but the remnants of the woman she used to be. The pain of his rejection was too much to bear. The man she had loved more than life itself had cast her aside as though she were nothing. Julian moved on quickly, marrying another woman, someone who fit more into his world without having to change herself. And he seemed to be happy, content in his new life, a life that did not include Amelia. Years passed, and Amelia's heart slowly healed. She tried to rebuild herself, but the scars of Julian's rejection were deep. She had lost not only him, but also the essence of who she had been. She had given up too much for the wrong person. 5 years later, on a warm summer afternoon, Amelia walked through a park with a child in tow. The little one, a boy of 3 years, laughed and ran ahead, his face lit up with joy. Amelia's heart swelled with love as she watched him play. Life had moved on for her. She had found someone else, a man who loved her for who she truly was, who never asked her to change. They had built a life together, one filled with understanding, respect, and unconditional love. Her son was the most precious gift she had ever received. As she walked, her eyes caught sight of a familiar face in the distance. Her heart skipped a beat. There, standing by the fountain, was Julian. He was older now, his once youthful energy replaced by the wear of time. And beside him stood his wife, a woman with a content smile on her face. They were holding hands, their bond clear, their happiness evident. But as Julian's eyes scanned the park, they landed on Amelia. For a moment, there was a flicker of recognition, a flash of something in his gaze, but it quickly vanished. He did not come over to greet her, did not acknowledge the years that had passed between them. Instead, he simply turned back to his wife, as though Amelia were nothing more than a ghost of the past.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Your support helps the channel grow, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.